Yeah, this has been such a journey for Dave Feloni. I mean, to have this evolve now into what will eventually be an event movie, and to have him be the director, that is a dream come true. I mean, the great thing is that Dave gets to learn along the way, and so these characters are evolving in real time with him. He's going to do something great. That I know.
This video is brought to you by the #1 website builder, Squarespace. The Star Wars fight is over, and sadly we lost. Now, that won't come as a surprise to a lot of people. Some people bailed out at The Force Awakens. Most heard the death bells when subjecting their eyes and ears to The Last Jedi.
Go away!
And if you made it all the way to The Rise of Skywalker, then death had surrounded you. But through all of this, some of the old fans kept the slightest of hope that the heart of Star Wars could be resurrected. The Mandalorian had some good moments, and even at its lowest points, there were still some, even though awful, connections to the original movies. But that's all changing with the Ahsoka show. Dave Feloni and Kathleen Kennedy's plan is coming to fruition. The plan to diminish the importance of George Lucas's classic movies and elevate the Feloni-Kennedy ideas and characters.
I have no idea.
And don't let the appearance of Anakin fool you into thinking that this show is connecting to the classic Star Wars. No, the Ahsoka show is more of a faded photocopy of a bad photocopy of a bad photocopy. And the worst part is, that's just what the Disney fans want.
Anakin.
Let me explain what the biggest difference is between the old school fans of George Lucas's work and the new breed of Disney fans. They seem more like it
is a cult.
It is, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Liam Neeson. They're very much like a cult, where devotion is proven with public displays of outrageous reactions.
I have sinned against you, my Lord. No, you're lying. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Global bullshit. I call bullshit bullshit!
You see, back in time, a lot of people of all ages went along to see Star Wars. And a lot of those people had seen Jaws, the original blockbuster the year before. Then a lot of those people would go on to watch Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Alien, Terminator, Rocky, Beverly Hills Cop, Lethal Weapon, Rambo, E.T., Top Gun, RoboCop, Escape from New York, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Lost Boys, and on and on and on and on and on. Yes, that's just to name a few, and it honestly is just a few of the amazing films that came out in the 80s and 90s. All different genres, all different styles, and all different experiences, and aimed at all different age groups. Star Wars and its sequels would always have a special place in a lot of people's hearts, mine included, but it wasn't where we stopped watching and growing with films. There were films like Zap to enjoy. The 90s kids who went to see the prequels also went on to watch Minority Report, Batman Begins, Pulp Fiction, Collateral, Sin City, Napoleon Dynamite, Shaun of the Dead, Donnie Darko, Almost Famous, The Departed, and a few of them went to see a little-known series called Lord of the Rings. Violence, sex, and horror were always a big part of enjoying movies as a teenager. It's part of becoming a more rounded person. Well, that seems to have changed in a big way. People now get social points proving how stunted they are. Grown men collect fucking Funko Pops.
Or leave them in the box and never touch them!
Films used to be aimed at all different age groups, and teenagers couldn't wait to start seeing more mature films.
Dawn 13.
What the fuck?
That's not to say family films weren't hugely popular, but that was balanced with wanting to experience more mature films, which also introduced people to more experimental filmmaking and better directors.
You're neither.
Modern Star Wars and Marvel are proving they don't want their audience to mature, because that means they're going to lose them as fans. The new Disney Star Wars fans seem to have grown up on Star Wars cartoons and have stayed at that mindset ever since.
Is this the world between worlds? Holy shit!
There it is!
Their experience and knowledge on great storytelling and filmmaking seems very limited to say the least. You see, original Star Wars fans were also film fans. That's why a lot of people felt that the prequels fell flat. They weren't very good films.
There's been some terrible mistake.
And it gets everywhere.
I can't watch anymore.
The prequels. 3 films that have found new love, but would be down to a good 60 minutes between them if you cut out all the bad bits.
Don't make me kill you.
Now, I know you're going to get angry, but hear me out. I'm talking about them in regard to their quality, not about how much of a little Star Wars chubby they give you.
It's a nightmare!
Star Wars, or as it's known now, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back would easily be fighting for a place in my top 10 all-time films. They might both squeeze in. I wouldn't put the prequels in any type of best-of list. Even if that list was top 100, they are 3 films with grand ideas and mostly poor execution.
Medically, she's completely healthy. For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her.
But don't get me wrong, the prequels still have some of the Star Wars magic. There is still some gold in there for the Star Wars fans, just not a lot of gold for fans of film.
Now let's get a move on. We've got a battle to win here. Yes, sir.
And I think most prequel fans understand this. They have as much fun with the bad bits of those films as they do the good.
I'm quite beside myself.
Even though they might love them, prequels fans know they are not the greatest films because they had a lot of competition at the time. Now, a super quick break to help you turn those ideas of yours into a reality. Now, unlike the show we are discussing, a lot of us want to create good things. Some of us have dreams of turning our ideas into a more fulfilling lifestyle, which means turning those ideas into cash. Well, live like Robot Head and get moving on those ideas. Your idea may be an awesome product you want to sell. Maybe it's your art, band, or podcast you want to get out to the world. Well, the first thing everyone needs is a website. And with Squarespace, you can have a killer professionally designed website that you can easily manage and edit yourself. It won't cost you a fortune. And best of all, it can be up and running within hours. Just sign up for a free trial, start with one of their professionally designed templates, then make it your own with the ease of drag and drop designing using the amazing Squarespace tool Fluid Engine. Add photo galleries, portfolios, and eye-catching video backgrounds, and you're all ready to go. Set up a store to sell directly to your customers, or if digital content is your thing, Squarespace websites allow you to have a members area where you can monetize your content right on your own website. Squarespace can even manage your custom merch. Just design your product and Squarespace will take care of the production, inventory, and shipping. You just collect the profits. They say first impressions count, so make your first impression stand out by giving your business a home that will make you not only look professional, but also well established. Go to squarespace.com/robothead and try Squarespace for free. And then when you're ready to take off, use the code ROBOTHEAD and you will get 10% off your first purchase. See the link below. Get over to Squarespace today and start that life you want. Where today's Disney Star Wars fans are just Star Wars fans and not film fans. I mean, they might get to experience the joy of the 50th crappy Marvel production. Awesome! But that's where their film catalogue seems to end. That's why we see this over-the-top praise for any of the Disney Star Wars productions, as well as the embarrassing gushing for people like Dave Feloni, a person that wouldn't have been allowed to deliver sandwiches on a film set in the 80s. And Ryan Johnson. I mean, you are going to think that the greatest thing you've ever seen is two people standing facing each other in front of a digital backdrop if you've never watched anything like Apocalypse Now.
Nothing is so terrible as a pretentious movie. I mean, a movie that aspires for something really terrific and doesn't pull it off is shit.
Interesting side note, George Lucas was going to direct Apocalypse Now, except he wanted to film it in Vietnam, while the Vietnam War was still on.
It was George's idea to do a movie set in Vietnam.
But I digress. We aren't here to talk about men. We're here to talk about the soy-filled Disney fans. It's also why we see supposed adults pretending to cry over appearances of characters like Anakin, a character from the low point of George Lucas's career.
No.
Now, I like Hayden Christensen as much as anyone. Some of his best work is in Revenge of the Sith. But let's not kid ourselves. Hayden had to work with some truly horrible dialogue and a director that was famously bad at directing actors.
It wasn't something I ever thought about.
George is more the ideas man. So it's no surprise that Anakin's best scenes are when he's not speaking, because he and George seem to work best together when there's little dialogue and it's more about the look.
Excuse me.
And we saw Anakin go from child to Darth Vader across the 3 movies. Anakin's story was complete in those films. So why are they so excited to see him back? Are they really excited to see Anakin from the prequels? Do we really want the future of Star Wars bogged down by the prequels? But not to worry, the connection to the prequels in Ahsoka is all show and no substance. As everyone knows, the real important link to this show is the bloody cartoons, which is the only Star Wars audience Disney has left.
It's the Anakin we know and love, though.
See, the Disney fans aren't genuinely excited to see the Hayden Christensen Anakin. They're excited to see the cartoon character brought to life, even if the whole scene he's brought back for is pointless and meaningless and a complete wasted opportunity. I mean, you think Anakin would be more interested in visiting his son and daughter.
I came to see if you and the baby are safe.
Sister. But no, he has to visit a part-time co-worker he once knew. But does he visit her? Because the writers are so piss-weak in this show, they don't even commit to the fact that the stupid world between worlds exists or not, or if it was all just in Ahsoka's head. Please don't ever show her again without her headband. And if it wasn't her head, how come the others could hear the lightsabers?
Don't you hear it? The lightsabers.
Yes, the Force is now just anyone listening really hard. Oh, fuck off.
Not right now.
If we're honest, the Ahsoka show has nothing to do with the films. If anything, George's films cause problems for this show. Its lore, talking points, and story all link back to the cartoons. This is hammered home by the fact that Luke and his friends should be superstars in the galaxy. Luke should be the first person Ahsoka warns about the impending danger. But this show doesn't even mention Luke and his friends. It's as if they don't even exist. And that's how Disney like it. In this show, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance, and Luke doesn't even get a mention. But the Dave Filoni characters, they are rolling the dice on everyone's future to save another Dave Filoni character. So it's pretty clear that Disney are pushing the cartoons to the forefront, while they also try and dilute the original films. But this isn't the first time we've seen the stench of Filoni's characters stinking up our screens. Bo-Katan has taken over The Mandalorian show, and Reva and the Inquisitors made Obi-Wan a scared loser who gave up his only job of looking after Luke.
The future will take care of itself.
And the first hints that Disney would be pushing the cartoons to the foreground to be more important than George's films was when they changed the voice of Darth Maul in Solo, a Star Wars story, Peter Serafinowicz, hope I'm saying that right, who voiced Maul in the prequels, to Sam Witwer, who did the voice of Maul in the cartoons. They even had Peter record the lines for the film but changed to Sam last minute so the Solo film would be more in line with the Dave Filoni cartoons and not George Lucas's films.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Too late for what?
Pity they didn't tell Peter about the change. He'd already told his kids that Dad was in the Solo movie.
Your dad's in it,
Yeah.
you know.
And was excited to take the family to the premiere.
I saw it on Twitter that there were people at the premiere. I was like,
You weren't invited to the premiere?
I was not invited.
Well, he never got that invite to the premiere. He had to hear about it days later, just before he received an email informing him that he'd been replaced in the movie.
So you didn't know up until after the premiere?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said it was like better for the continuity of the thing. But it was a bit disappointing.
Of course. No, I understand.
Ah, Disney. Always looking out for the old characters.
It's a wrap!
I was actually in tears in the suit.
Yes, even all the way back in 2018, they were setting up the importance of Filoni's cartoons over George Lucas's films. And the Disney Star Wars fans couldn't be more happy about that. Because you see, they love the cartoons. They're not even fans of the films. But Robot Head, how come it was okay to bring back Luke? Well, I'm not the biggest fan of bringing any of them back. But with Luke had a whole chunk of his story missing. But Anakin, we'd seen his fall of redemption. But in this show, he was brought back to continue the story of a cartoon character. And I care about that about as much as I care about the intergalactic space whales who can shoot across the galaxy using a hyperdrive out of their huge whale assholes. So old fans, if you had stayed hopeful for this long, I'm sorry to say we're done for. The new fans are all Disney cares about, and Ahsoka proves it. The Star Wars cult is in full force. The cartoons, the crying, and the Funko Pops is all that matters now. I hate to say it, but the losers have won.
Oh my God! Turn around and look at these people! What?
From the Lord! I got what I wanted from the Lord!